Welcome to the new video. Today I'm going to just briefly explain you if you're anyone who is currently day trading or just starting some sort of new online business, some of the main factors or reasons why it is harder to socialize in these days if you're going on this business path at a young age. So first thing that we need to take into consideration that starting a business at this young age, so if you're like anywhere from like 16 to 20 or 20 to 25, okay, the majority of people does not do that. Okay, I think this is obvious. And so as a result of this, if someone doesn't do this, the majority of people won't even have an interest about stuff like this or just to talk on the topic, because what is currently important to them is not so important to you. You are seeking other types of values in life, which is nothing wrong, but like again, majority of people are not looking this way. And at the end, you kind of find yourself like harder to even like approach the other people, because you're just not sharing like the same time and same space to be in, right? So they may be like in more of those like spaces where a lot of things is going on, like something like nightclub or something like this. Whilst you, if you are like starting some sort of business or doing something that will make you achieve your goals in the future, you probably find yourself majority of the time like sitting at home behind the computer, because like this is your only tool and this is your only like space that you can actually use to work towards these goals, right? And so in this way, you kind of become more distant from other people, which is something that I experience a lot of times. Because look, I see people my age just going, whilst I'm like at home, right? Most of the time, sitting behind the laptop. But okay, I also do go out sometimes with my friend, right? We go on like pool and then in the gym, and but like this is basically it, I don't really go on those crazy events like some parties or clubs. I never actually been to a club before in my life, but it's like I do not have like the desire to go in these places, because I don't see the outcome. I don't see the value in it. I cannot see the outcome that I want, that will get from like being in those spaces. And at the moment, this may like sound, like depressing, like why aren't you going out and stuff like why aren't you living your life? I mean, I guess you could say that going out there and like getting drunk is somewhat living your life, because some people call it like just being alive, which kind of doesn't make any sense to me, but like it's if it makes you feel better, like okay. But I'm just seeking something that will probably take more time and more effort to achieve. Like we don't share same values or like same desires in life. And this is very important for you to take into consideration, because a lot of people, including myself, have this feeling of like missing out on those like teenage years or something, because you just see other people enjoying the life and even like going, traveling and stuff like this with other people, and then you just ask yourself like, okay, first of all, how do these people meet like other people that they could find so many opportunities through them, right? They could like go travel somewhere with them because their parents have like an apartment at like a coast. Or maybe how can these people, I don't know, for example, like go just there and rent a villa and then get drunk in it, feels like you're missing out. But in reality, I don't think like missing out is the correct phrase that we can use here, but it is more of like, delaying this satisfaction for the sake of achieving something greater than just that later on in life. But this path takes other mental struggles on the way, where you are like, okay, what happens if I do not achieve what I signed up for? You know, like, what if all this effort that I've made like just vanishes into nothing? And this is actually like the part of this path that you take. It's like basically doubting yourself like every day, and then like you sometimes you can't even like process what is going on. Sometimes you can't even sleep because of those thoughts that are just like, torturing you at night, like making you, I don't know, ask yourself like, what if this, I don't know, doesn't work out like I planned to. But the thing is at the end that if you just like never actually stop, like you actually never stop going towards those goals, like, you never stop working towards, I think every time that you put in a day, you decrease a chance of not making it in this life, which is something you have to constantly remind yourself of, because a lot of times you're going to have those doubts, and you will think that you're just getting your life wasted, and that you're like wasting hours on nothing. But you're not actually like wasting hours, because you are actually putting them into something. So this is already like, doing something, and this is like better than not doing something. So I think that you even thinking about putting those hours away, or just like having thoughts of like way that you're wasting all these hours, it's just an absurd thought to have. And I know that it may feel hard right now, as it also does for me, right? Because I see all these people like just having connections that I like can't figure out how they get all these people, right? How they get to know all those people, and then like have a lot of like social opportunities through knowing others. And so then like they, I don't know, go somewhere, or like enjoy the life in a way that I imagine it in the future. But at the end, I also like know for sure, like for me, that I'm also someday going to experience this life. Maybe later, but it doesn't matter, because like if I put so much work into like towards those goals that I'm working for, then I'm sure that one day I will be, like living all those moments that these people lived for. Like it may be delayed, but still, what is the difference if you just delay a few years for a potentially better return? And this is all I want you to keep in mind. So this will be it for this video. I wish you happy trading and good luck.